In the mid-19th century, Japan found itself at a historic crossroads. For more than 2 centuries, the country had lived in near-total isolation under the Tokugawa shogunate, a feudal system that ensured stability but also limited progress. The samurai, a warrior caste that served their feudal lords, were the backbone of the system. They lived by the code of Bushido, a strict set of values that exalted honor, loyalty, and discipline. However, the arrival of American Commodore Matthew Perry's black ships in 1853 changed everything. With their cannons pointed toward the Japanese coast, Perry forced the country to open up to foreign trade, marking the beginning of the end of the old Japan. Among the great protagonists of this era was Saigō Takamori, a samurai born in 1828 in the Satsuma region of southern Japan. Of humble origins, Saigō rose quickly through the ranks thanks to his loyalty and political skills. His reputation as an honorable and courageous man made him a natural leader among the samurai. In his early years, Saigō was a fervent advocate of modernization. He believed that Japan must become stronger to avoid being colonized, as had happened to other Asian nations. He was a key ally in the Meiji Restoration of 1868, a movement that overthrew the Tokugawa shogunate and returned power to the emperor, ushering in an era of radical reforms. However, the transformations brought about by the Meiji Restoration were not what Saigō had imagined. As Japan adopted Western technologies, eliminated social classes, and built a modern military, the samurai found themselves in a precarious position. Their privileges, such as the right to carry swords in public and the stipends they received from their lords, were abolished. For many, this meant losing not only their livelihood, but also their identity. The samurai, who for centuries had been the heart of feudal Japan, were now seen as relics of the past. Saigō became the spokesman for the discontented. Although he was initially part of the new government, he began to criticize reforms that he considered too rapid and contemptuous of Japanese traditions. In 1873, he resigned from his government post following a dispute over the invasion of Korea, a plan he advocated as a way to unify the country and give jobs to unemployed samurai. His retirement marked the beginning of a split between Saigō and the leaders of the new era. In 1877, tension reached a critical point. In the Satsuma region, where Saigō was revered as a hero, former samurai began to organize around him. Although he initially resisted leading a rebellion, circumstances forced his hand. The central government, fearful of his influence, sent troops to Satsuma, leading to armed clashes. Saigō, faithful to the spirit of Bushido, accepted the challenge. Thus began the Satsuma Rebellion, the last great samurai uprising against modern Japan. The war was a clash between two worlds, the samurai with their swords and spears against the imperial army armed with rifles and cannons. Although the rebels were at a disadvantage, they demonstrated extraordinary bravery and skill on the battlefield. Saigō and his men won several initial battles, but the imperial government had superior resources. The war escalated into a series of brutal clashes, with the samurai fighting not only for their cause, but also for their honor. The final showdown occurred in September 1877 at Shiroyama Hill near Kagoshima. Saigō and his few hundred remaining men were surrounded by more than 30,000 imperial soldiers. Knowing there was no hope of victory, Saigō resolved to fight to the end. That night, the samurai shared sake, wrote their last letters, and readied their swords for one last charge. At dawn, they launched a desperate attack on the enemy lines, aware that they would not return. Saigō was severely wounded during the battle. According to tradition, he asked one of his trusted men to help him end his life through seppuku, the samurai suicide ritual. His death marked the end of the rebellion and of an era. With the defeat of the samurai, feudal Japan disappeared forever, giving way to a modern westernized Japan. However, the figure of Saigō Takamori was not forgotten. Although the government initially declared him a traitor, his bravery and loyalty made him a national symbol. In 1889, he was posthumously rehabilitated, and a statue of him was erected in Tokyo's Ueno Park, where he is honored as a hero. For many Japanese, Saigō represents the ideal of the samurai, a man who fought for his principles to the very end. even when he knew defeat was inevitable. The story of Saigō Takamori and the Satsuma Rebellion is not only a tale of war, but also a reflection on the clash between tradition and modernity. In his sacrifice, Saigō left an enduring message. Even as the world changes, values such as honor and loyalty transcend time.
Drums beat, dawn comes, the hill burns with our promise. We are few, but our sword carries the weight of the forgotten cause. Do you hear the echo in the breeze? It is our souls in the last laugh. Among cannons, steel and bullets, united with the honor that never fails. Oh Shiroyama, our final home. On your soil we die, but not at random. Every blow, every step towards the sun is an eternal cry. There is no surrender. Bushido guides our destiny like flames burning on the road. There is no regret, no retreat, only the glory of a bound oath. Under the stars, stake in hand, together we cry but not in vain. One last attack, one leap into the abyss. With eternal honor we break the same. Oh Shiroyama, the end came. Under your sky the soul shone. Our defeat, an immortal song, the spirit of the samurai, eternal in the end. Shiroyama, the end came. Under your sky, the soul shone. Our defeat, an immortal song, the spirit of the samurai, eternal in the end. Oh Shiroyama, the end came. Under your sky, the soul shone. Our defeat, an immortal song, the spirit of the samurai, eternal in the end. Eternal